Please help me extend our warmth and gratitude to Mary Vajra.
Thank you so much for the kind intro and the chance to share with you today. We're going to talk about the Earth, which is a big theme for this month and a wonderful theme for us as we look forward to evolving our legacy of the past into the future. So I'm going to share a little bit more about myself and for context and what I do and where I'm pulling from. As was shared, I work with a nonprofit called the Center for Shamanic Education, and we work with Indigenous communities and fund projects that are ideated and directed and run by those communities themselves that perpetuate their spiritual traditions. So that means their ritual, their ceremony, their elder wisdom, and the transmission of that wisdom to the next generation. All of those programs are ideated, created, and run by those communities themselves. We have ongoing projects in Peru, in Mexico, Colombia, Guatemala, Ecuador, the United States, and it's really been a beautiful practice for myself in learning how to be a good listener and learning how to be a good partner and stepping into my own receptivity of not approaching projects with any kind of idea of, oh, we know what needs to happen, and we're going to come in with our colonial capitalism and tell them how to do things. So we're very much guided by those communities, so it's continually a beautiful and honoring act of service to be able to participate in. So in that work through those communities, which it's been really a privilege to interact with them and start to learn more about the way that they walk and the way that they walk with the earth. And I think about what's happening collectively with humanity on our planet. And so much of the work that we're doing, words that we are using in our own healing and our collective modern healing is around remembrance, around reconnection. And I think about our collective human family tree. And there are people who are part of that family tree who are holding an unsevered connection in their community and in their lineage to our home, to Pachamama. So you can picture that big, beautiful human family tree, which we're all a part of, and know that there is still an unsevered taproot of connection that is allowing us to continually be in conversation with the earth, to offer her our love and our nourishment, and to receive from her her intelligence, her support, her powers of creativity and regeneration. So it's been, as I shared, a great privilege to learn from those communities who are in unsevered connection, who are in continuous conversation with our big, beautiful Pachamama. To remember ourselves as never outside of connection with her in our own earth bodies. So across the board of both the communities that we work with and also with communities that are considered shamanic around the world, and I know shamanic has become a very big word that is used in many ways, and this organization that I'm working with, we were founded in 2009, so we have over a 15-year history of relationships with these communities. And when I use the term shamanic, I'm using it as indigenous spirituality, as earth-based spirituality, and as something that is an inherent part of all of our heritage. It's something that we all come from, a place of knowing the earth and listening to the earth and working with her and working with all the different parts of aspects that she holds. So in that, ingrained in all of those communities are two main things, and one of them, you already know both of them. These are all things that we already know, that we are remembering to remember. But the first one is that thoughts are things. And thoughts are things from our Western science perspective. Whatever you think in your mind is also a physiological thing that is happening in your brain, that is creating neural pathways that are being reinforced by the repetitive thoughts. But thoughts are things both in the physiological sense, but also in the energetic sense. So when we step into practices, when we step into practices and step into them regularly, it allows us to build patterns not only in our mind, but in our energy field and in our field of relationship with the world around us. So I encourage you to allow yourself to honor the power of your thoughts, to honor the power of the things that you're doing regularly, your practices, and to bring even more energy and intention and proactive will into those things. So the other principle, which is absolutely universal, is that of animism. And does everyone know what animism is? Okay, I've got one in the back. So animism, coming from the word anima, soul, it's the idea and the belief and the truth that everything around us is alive. Alive, maybe not in the sense of breathing and reproducing, but alive in the sense of holding spirit, holding a soul. And nothing is outside that circle of that. There's nothing outside the circle of awareness of life, of existence. So as we remember ourselves in our earth bodies in connection to the earth, we're also connected to all of the spirits, all of the souls that are a part of the earth and beyond, the whole universe. So we can remember the earth as a being, the sun, the stars, the trees, the birds, the bodies of water, the places, even above and below and the directions are all considered spirits, considered guides, considered helpers. And from the shamanic perspective, these are all things that we can build a relationship with and look to for guidance and proactively ask for help with. And remember that we are not outside of the circle either. So in that idea of animism, of everything being awake, of us being connected to everything, we also can understand and remember the principle of energy not being created or destroyed. Everything is in exchange. That includes our thoughts, that includes our actions, that includes the physical food we eat, the air we breathe. I even invite you just to pause for a moment and take a nice deep breath. And in that breath, there is a physical exchange with the plants here on the property. We can measure it. We can talk about it from our science lens. We can also just maybe do another deep breath and remember that we are in an undeniable, inescapable relationship with the land that we are on through our feet, through our breath, through the words we speak, through our attention and our intention. So there's simple ways to start to remember the power of your thoughts, the powers of your actions, and to allow those to be valuable, to be important, to be powerful as we relate to the world around us. So accepting that there is animism, accepting that everything around us is awake and ready to be responded to, whether it be spoken to, including the wind, as well as the birds and the trees and the land and what is above and what is below. How do we do this? And I believe it's very inherent. I believe this is something that comes naturally to all of us, that we, you can see it in children. Hello tree, hello bird, hello sun. This is part of our human heritage. We look at the absolute span of humankind for over 99%, probably 99.9% of the human species existence and even beyond, even earlier, which was still in the realm of consciousness. We've been in the lens of animism. We've known that the world around us was awake. We've prayed to it. We've talked to it. It was through that relationship, through paying attention, that we were able to survive as a species, that we were able to listen and learn and know where to follow the herds and what would be the winter would be like and how to get through. And it was through this dialogue of paying attention and through deep listening. And often I find that's a piece that we could do a little bit better. We can go and make our offering. We can go ahead and say hi. But do we remember to listen? The other side of it. So if this is already a practice you have of saying hello, of waking up and seeing the sun, and one of my favorite things is every time I see the sun in the morning is to take a moment, take a beat. Hello. And even if it's a cloudy day, to acknowledge that moment you first received the sunlight and thank it. Thank the sun for being the leader of our solar system, to embodying the qualities of the divine masculine, of unconditional light and love and energy, of warmth and expansion, allowing us to see, to focus, a beautiful guide for us, And this can be a very quick thing you do in your day. And it can really allow you, through that thought, through that acknowledgement, to begin a better relationship with light, with energy, with the divine masculine. And if you're not to limit it there, you can begin to start saying hello to many of the things in your day, especially when in the morning you first one. That's when I find it the most easiest. To step outside, notice the air, perhaps put your feet on the ground. It's okay if you're wearing shoes, it still works. If you're lucky, I'm really enjoying my yard right now. There's roses blooming, there's hummingbirds migrating through. To take a moment to not only admire and appreciate the beauty, to invite in the quality of awe, but also invite the quality of connection and the quality of your thoughts and saying hello and acknowledging it and deepening that relationship. So there's an idea in that acceptance of animism of allyship. And allyship is kind of like your spirit team. And so we're going to take this into the next step. So really anything of all of the things that are animated, which is everything, are available to be helpers to you. So this includes all the animals, all the plants, everything above, everything below. It includes stones and crystals and places and waters and directions themselves. All of these are available as guides and helpers for you. And that can feel like a lot. But when I talk about building allyship, these are the things that are particularly resonant with you. And this could be, if you feel like, well, I don't know what that is, I invite you to pause and think about what you do have an affinity for. And maybe it's something, an animal that you might have never even seen in your real life. But it's always been with you. Perhaps you had a stuffed animal of that animal that was really precious to you as a child. Perhaps it was a nickname, or maybe it was a shirt you wear. It can even be a time when you're sitting there on the street looking for more guidance, and the bear drives by on the car, picture of a bear. Like, these things will show up for you once you start to wake up, pay attention, and look around. So in that realm of things that are awake, there's a huge amount of things that can be allies to you, but the allies are the things that you have built and start to build relationships with. So it's like analogous to everyone in this room is available for you to connect with, but there's probably only a certain set of people who you have connections with who are part of your team, and maybe they're going to be part of your more innermost team. And that's the way it works with allies as well. So I invite you to start to lean into building out your spirit team, especially as we look towards what are perhaps uncertain times and times of change. To feel that you are guided and resourced in the energetic realm by places, by waters, by stones, by plants, by animals, by the sun itself, and particularly by the earth. And the earth is probably one of my favorite allies, and one that I think is the easiest for us to connect with, because we are in earth bodies. We're undeniably connected with her. And she holds tremendous wisdom for us. Sometimes we get language a lot around us needing to save the planet and save the earth. And I have great news, the earth is going to be fine. I just don't know if humans will be around to enjoy that. But she has powers of regeneration which are unimaginable to us. And it may take her several 100,000 years to deal with some of the shit we picked up in the language. But I think it's a natural part of things too. So if you invite her in a little deeper to connect with her powers and regeneration, of allowing everything to be able to be transformed and composted, to take the things that are considered decay and death and challenging. This can include your emotions. This can include whatever you're holding that's heavy, with its fear, grief, anger. To work with her as an ally. You can do that right now, feeling into your beautiful big taproot in your own human energy, true body that connects you to the earth. Allow whatever's heavy to be heavy. You can work with your breath to do that. You can say hello to Mama as you do that. Letting those things easily cascade through your exhale down your taproot to be regenerated. This is something you can do anywhere, anytime. to connect with your baby mother and her powers of regeneration, of nourishment, of creativity. When you don't know what to do, you can invite in creative powers. And if you want to go a little deeper, I'll leave for you an easy, beautiful practice. This is one of my favorites, especially if you're ever feeling extra heavy or overwhelmed, is go find a nice private little spot somewhere. It can be a park, it can be a yard, it can be a stone, and go lay down on the earth. Connect your belly to her, and really allow whatever is heavy to come up to the surface. And perhaps use your words to express it. Telling her whatever pain or fear you might be carrying, and just allowing it to flow. Knowing that you are unconditionally and totally received in that moment. Fully understood, fully loved, with deep compassion. And there's nothing that you can tell her that would change that. There's nothing that would diminish her love for you. And let it all pour out. And then when you feel complete, step into telling beautiful Vajra Mother all of your dreams, all of your deep prayers of your heart, the things you want. You don't have to qualify it as selfish or this or that or the other thing. And invite her to be an ally for you, to be a helper. Invite her powers of beauty and connection, of creativity, of love, generosity, and compassion and abundance to be received by you, knowing that you are completely and unconditionally held and loved and supported by her. So, I hope some of these things are helpful to you as we step forward into this portal, through this threshold, to remember that you are deeply blessed, you are deeply loved, and the resources and guidance and support for you are limitless, particularly when you lean in and say hello and ask for a little help. Thank you, everybody, and have a blessing.